I consider it an album.
And why go that route for this project?
I just felt like that's really what it was. I felt like it was enough songs to be considered an album, even though it's not like maybe like 20 or 25 like a lot of other people do, but it's still considered an album, to me at least.
The title. Give me the whole story with the title for this project.
Victim of a Heartbreak. I came up with that name after I recorded the song Heartbreak with Jay Hines. We had came up with the hook like, victim of a heartbreak, questioning are you coming home, baby? And I was like, yo, that's catchy. I like that name. Because at first I didn't know what I was going to name the project. I didn't have a name for it or nothing like that. So that stuck out to me, and that's what I decided to name it. So Victim of a Heartbreak, that's how it came about. But the whole album, like, it was like just a compilation of feelings and emotions of, you know, things that people go through in a relationship from the beginning to the end. Like the first song is called Fight, and then at the end, the last song is called Down the Aisle. So every relationship goes through hardships and just struggles and stuff like that. So it just goes through struggles, overcoming situations, and then just moving on, and ends up with like this happy, mellow song at the end.
Now, what you just described may answer some of these next questions, but I'm going to ask you these questions just in case you want to add something that you didn't say, if it already fits these questions.
Okay.
But is there a message with this project?
A message, I'd say you're not alone. Everybody goes through heartbreak, so it came from my experience, but I know through my experience, people can relate as well.
I feel like I know the answer to this question, but I'm still going to ask it. Who is this project for?
It's not directed towards anybody in specific. It's more just towards an audience of people who can relate. Like, it's not, I don't have no name on it, just for anybody.
And is there an age minimum to listen to this project?
I wouldn't say there's an age minimum. Kids nowadays be listening to anything, so anybody could listen to it, whether it's elderly or young, kids, anybody could listen to it.
Now explain the art concept for this project.
Art like what?
The artwork?
The artwork?
Yeah.
The cover, I feel like it just was a perfect representation of me as an artist. It was me sitting on an amp with my guitar, and then I had like a microphone on the side because I'm a recording artist. I had clothes in the back because, you know, I got a little style. So put the clothes in the back, and I had other guitars laid out, like 2 other ones, just to represent me. Like, I'm known for playing the guitar, even though I play other instruments like the piano and the violin, but the guitar is really what I'm known for. So that's what I wanted to incorporate in the picture.
And what type of guitar exactly?
Acoustic. I play electric, sorta, kinda. I prefer acoustic though.
Now, you just named 3 different instruments. Mm-hmm. What was the time order of how you were introduced to each instrument?
The time order, first one was the violin. I learned that in middle school, all throughout high school. And then during middle school, I started the keys, the piano a little bit. And then high school is when I came about the guitar. My dad had this old guitar from a garage sale, probably bought it for like $5. And it was just laying around in the house, and I was like, yo, I want to pick this up. I just started watching YouTube videos, looking up songs that I liked, that I personally liked, and I just wanted to learn how to play, and then I just stuck to it.
So never got personal lessons from a human with the guitar?
With the violin, yeah, I was in orchestra, so I learned it from a class, but everything else was self-taught.
The piano and the guitar?
The piano and the guitar, yes.
You attribute YouTube with the guitar. What about the piano?
Same thing, same concept.
And you're more known for the guitar, mm-hmm. but out of all 3 instruments, what are you the best at?
The guitar.
And
I play by ear. I know how to play by ear now, so I could listen to a song and just figure it out. The other ones, the keys, I could do the same, but I prefer the guitar. It's easier to me, at least.
And you actually, out of all 3 instruments, that's the instrument you love the most as well?
Yes, it is.
Now, the artwork concept, this is something you came up with, or graphic designer, or somebody else?
It was inspired by another artist. What's her name? I don't remember her name, but I saw it just scrolling through Instagram, and I was like, yo, that's dope. So I just kind of put my own little twist on it, and the photographer made it blue, like how you see it. But yeah, that's how it came about.
Any significance of the blue?
Not necessarily. Any other color just wasn't really flattering like that to me.
Speaking of significance, was there any significance with the release date for this project?
No, not really. I just didn't want to wait too long because I was already working on the project for quite a while, and I just really wanted to just put it out. So that's the earliest or the most reasonable date I could figure out.
Looking back, were you happy with the date that was chosen?
I was very happy. Everything worked out just fine. Everything fell into place with the release party, the release. I shot a video that same day, and I also filmed part of my documentary for the album too.
Now, somebody watching this interview, hearing about this project for the very first time, or maybe somebody that's seen the artwork, know that the project is out but hadn't had a chance to press play yet, can you describe the sound, overall speaking, one would hear once they did press play?
Overall sound, a vibe, like a vibe, which is R&B music. It's a vibe regardless. Every song is different. Every song has a different message, and anybody can vibe to it.
When it came to your own personal lyrics for this project, do you write them? Do you freestyle, punch in? How does it work?
I had writers on the album too. I don't want to say like I write all my shit, because I don't. I have people in the studio with me who just like pitch in ideas, and we'll just feed off of each other. And I honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. So don't come at me no type of way, because ain't nothing wrong with that. We just feed off each other's energy, feed off each other's vibes. It's two brains is always better than one. So I do have writers on the album, and when I record everything line by line. I don't just go in and just record the verse and record the hook. Like literally every line is recorded, and then you punch in, and then the next line, and we punch in until we want to make sure every line is like perfect. So that's why we do that.
But you did write.
I did write on the album,
yes.
Yes, I did.
And when it comes to your own personal lyrics, the ones that you did write in this project, how honest are they?
100%. 100%.
There are 8 songs on this project. Why that amount for this one?
I chose 8. I could have put more, honestly, but those 8 were just like the ones that really stuck out to me from my catalog that I had at the time. And those are the ones that I just selected. There's no really significance for the number 8. It was just the ones that I decided, like, yeah, I think these should be put out right now.
How many songs did you have to choose from originally before you get to the final 8?
I don't even know the exact number. Maybe like...
Rough estimate,
maybe like 13, 14.
How did you narrow it down? What was that process like for you?
The process, I had a whiteboard. Me and Stax was in the studio. We had just finished recording Down the Aisle, which was the last song on the album. And we sat down with the whiteboard and wrote down all the songs and just nitpicked every song that we wanted on the album. And that's what we did. We just wrote it down on the whiteboard and just like had a visual representation, you know what I mean?
And how long did that process take?
Probably like 10 minutes, and then we listened to them one by one, each in that specific order that we chose.
And both of you chose the track list order?
Yes.
And would you say that was also included in the 10 minutes?
The 10 minutes, like listening to the songs?
Well, no, I asked you how long the process took you from the 13 to the 8, the narrowing down process.
Yeah.
And I believe you said 10 minutes. But then you also mentioned there was a tracklist order. So did the tracklist order, was that part of the 10 minutes of the narrowing down process, or that was a separate process on its own?
Probably separate. It probably took a little more than 10 minutes to decide, like, from the catalog that we had.
And was there a strategy with the track list, the song order?
Yeah. Like I said from the beginning, everything is like a story being told in a way, in a sense. If you listen to the song, if you listen to the album from the beginning to end, like I said, it starts with like, just the trials and just, I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but just like the steps within getting over a relationship. So that's the order that we chose it in.
And the actual track list order, how long do you think that took, rough estimate? I know you said longer than 10 minutes, but...
The track list order?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 12 minutes, 13 minutes, something like that. Nothing too long though. Like we chose it, it wasn't a long list to choose from. So we chose those 8 and then we listened to them in that order.
Now, how did you premiere this project, or did you release it on all streaming platforms simultaneously?
I released it on all platforms simultaneously. I did. I released a few of them as singles before I dropped it. I released Fight and... What was the other one? Was it just... I think it was just Fight. Yeah, it was just Fight. That was the first song on the album.
Now, what was that feeling like after releasing the project publicly? It's live.
It was a good feeling. I had been working on the project for so long, since February. I would fly from North Carolina to Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale, Miami, just back and forth recording. So it was tedious, but it was definitely worth the wait to see all my work put out finally. It was a good feeling. Popped a couple bottles, drank a little something to celebrate,
What were you sipping on?
Bel Air.
A certain flavor of Bel Air?
I don't even know what kind of flavor. It was just a bottle. And I was
They got a
just
white
popping
bottle, a pink bottle, a gold bottle, a black bottle.
I don't know. Let's go with pink.
Rosé?
It might have been rosé. I feel like it was that.
And why so many different places to work on this project? You named several different cities.
I named several different cities because Stax lives in North Carolina and I live in Florida. So the way he works, he likes to work in person. So either I fly to him or he flies to me. And we met in Atlanta too. So it was just meeting in person, flying back and forth to each other. So either I flew to him, he flew to me, whichever way it was.
How'd you guys initially link? Do you know how you guys met for the very first time?
We met 2 months before we ever started working. We met at this camp for another artist, and it was this, they had got this mansion, and it was just a whole bunch of creative people, writers, artists, producers in one house just creating. And he was one of the producers there, and that's how we met. He was just real cool. I didn't know anybody there, so he was the only person that was cool with me,
And whose idea was it to work on this project together?
It was my idea. I decided to work with him on this project because his work ethic just shows for itself.
And this is your debut project. What did you do the very first minute? It's live, it drops, maybe that first hour. I know you said there's some sipping and some celebration, but give me kind of the play-by-play. First minute it drops, first hour, first couple hours, what is actually going? What is happening behind the scenes?
It dropped. I had got this Airbnb with a jacuzzi and a pool. So we had everybody who was a part of the album come to my Airbnb, and we just had a little pool party, popping bottles, sipping.
And is it just strictly celebration? Are you doing anything strategic, social media, marketing, promoting? Is any of this happening in that first couple hours, or it's just purely celebration?
That first hour, it was purely celebration. The next day, it was the release party. So that day we filmed. That day was just busy itself. We had a whole music video in the morning, and then we had the release party, and then at night we filmed like a sit-down talk with everybody for my documentary. So that night was just partying, just to like get lit before we have to work all day. Was
the Airbnb situation the release party, or was there a separate release party?
A separate release party. That was just me personally inviting people to the Airbnb to just have a good time and just to celebrate together, because everybody who was there played a part in the making of the album. So I just wanted everybody to just link up, because everybody there is not from Florida. Some of them flew out from North Carolina, because that's where some of them live, along with Stack. So they flew down to Fort Lauderdale for my party, and we had a situation. We got lit, like I said, and then, yeah, we got to work.
And where was the release party at?
The release party was at Key Footage Studios in Fort Lauderdale. Yes, we had set it up. We had got like catering. I did a music video premiere for Don't Feel Right. And I performed with the live band. So I had my live band with me, had the whole setup, speakers, all that good stuff. And I just gave a performance of not the whole album, but just maybe half of the album live with the band. Just a different sound for the people who did come to my party. I personally invited these people.
And you played guitar?
I did play the guitar. Not for every song, but a few of them, maybe 2 of them I played, I think. Yeah, 2 of them.
After the release, was there any remorse in the songs chosen or the order of the track list? So do you say, you know what, I should have took a song off, added another song, moved a song a little bit further in the track list, a little bit closer in the track list? Any remorse
No,
there?
I like the order, but I do feel like I could have added more songs. I feel like I might have cut myself short, adding just 8. Maybe I could have added 10 or 11, but it's not anything super major to me, I regret, but it's it is what it is. I could drop those songs later on eventually. It's no big deal.
You're talking about 10 or 12 total, not 10 more
10
songs.
10 or 12 total, yes.
On the top of the 8.
No.
And is this your personal thinking, or did you get a reaction of people saying, this is short, there should have been more?
My followers did. They would just be like, where's more music? We need more music. Just trying to get more music out of me. But no, I feel like it was personally me. I feel like I could have added more songs, but it is what it is. I'll drop them later on in the future.
From start to finish, how much time did this project take to put together? Recording to releasing it?
We started recording in February. So 7 months. 7 months. Took 7 months.
Was any element of this project rushed or last minute?
No, I feel like everything was in divine timing. Yes.
Financially, how much did this project cost to create?
I don't even know. Booking flights, booking Airbnbs, music videos. It cost a little penny. I don't know the exact amount, but I did spend quite a lot over those 7 months out of pocket. I did.
Care to share a figure on it? Put a figure on it? A rough estimate? Or we're just going to leave it as a pretty penny?
Yeah, we're just going to leave it as, yeah.
Did you have a budget going into this, though?
Recording and just...
Yeah, did you say, you know what? I'm willing to spend X amount of money on this?
I did not have a specific budget. I just knew that it was something that I wanted to do. So I just worked with what I had.
Looking back at how everything played out, Whatever money that you did spend on it, was it worth it?
It was worth it.
Why?
It was worth it. Everything worked out as it should have. Like, the music videos were quality, the venue that I had, having people fly out and just giving them a place to stay, everything, I don't regret spending any money at all.
Is this your best work so far musically?
So far, yes. It is quality. I definitely think it's better than anything I've ever dropped before because it's just a different feel from what I've dropped before. Because working with a different producer, a different engineer just gives you a different sound in all we do.
Now, when it comes to the actual music of this project, out of all 8 songs, what's your favorite one? Your personal favorite?
Only one?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Heartbreak. I like that song. It's like, it has a catchy tune to it, and it's just relatable and all. And then Derek killed his verse, so that's my favorite one.
And what's that song about?
It's called Heartbreak, but it's basically, that's where I got the name of the song, the name of the album from, Victim of a Heartbreak, because that's what I say in the song. But, damn, I forgot the question.
Oh, what was the song about?
The song was about just being a victim of a heartbreak, being fed up, just wanting to do my own thing. F these niggas, go do your own thing, you a bad bitch type shit, you feel me? Go out with the girls, get a drink, don't worry about what he got going on, do you? Type of song.
And when it came to the features of this project and the producers, were these your first time working with these people, or were some of these repeats? You've worked with them in the past prior to this.
It was my first time working with everybody on the album. The features, the producer. It was only one producer for the whole album, so just Stacks, he produced the whole thing. But yeah, it was my first time working with everybody who was a part of it.
When it came to Derek and that feature in particular, how did he become a part of that song?
He became a part of that song like unintentionally.
Give me the whole story.
So like, I was on live and I followed him and I saw that he was live and he was in a studio working on whatever he was working on, his own thing. And then I had requested to go live with him. I didn't think he was gonna answer, but he did. And I was like, I had my guitar with me and I was like, hey, my name is Nemchel. Can I sing you an original song? And he was like, yeah, go for it. So he stopped whatever he was doing in the studio. And I played one of my songs called Vibes that I dropped a while ago. And he was rocking with it heavy. He was like, yo, you hard. I want to work with you. Let's do something. And then he was like, DM me. And I DM'd him right after I got off the live. And we exchanged contacts. And he asked for an open verse. And I sent him an open verse. And I was like, are you for real? You gonna give me a verse right now? And he sent me one like within an hour. So that was, first of all, it was mad fast. And it was like unexpected, you know?
This was a free feature.
Pretty much. A blessing. It was it's a blessing.
Now, this was your debut project, as I've mentioned in this interview. Were you nervous because this was your debut?
I don't want to say nervous. I was just ready to put it out. Because I listen to my music like 1,010,000 times before I drop it. So I was tired of listening to it. I was tired of holding it in. And I just wanted to just let it all out. So I let it all out and I wasn't nervous about it at all. I was anxious. I just wanted to give my followers what they were waiting on and just to see the reaction from all the work that I done put in within the past like 7 months.
Now, we spoke about a variety of details in regards to this project. Anything else in regards to it we didn't mention you want to fill us in on? I know I asked you a bunch of questions here, but something we didn't say in regards to it?
I don't know. Nothing really come to mind.
You mentioned Jay Stacks, you mentioned Derek. Is there anybody else that you didn't mention in this interview that you want to shout out?
I want to shout out Deja Lynn. That's my girl. She helped me write a couple songs on the album. Super dope artist. Also Big Ty, he played the guitar on a couple of the tracks like Heartbreak, Down the Aisle, and the ending of Open Diary. He went crazy on the electric guitar. So shout out to them. I can't think of nobody else. I think that's Keita. She is a dope producer. She also produced on the album as well. So I want to say those are like, if I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but those are the ones that came to mind. Yeah, those are the ones that came to mind.
And just to clarify, reiterate, this project was, it's about a heartbreak, but this wasn't about a particular heartbreak?
Not like, I don't want to aim it at anybody in specific. It was just a compilation of just experiences from either my life or just things that I've seen other people go through. So I try to put myself in their shoes and just write about that. But it's not necessarily about anybody in specific. I feel like I didn't want to put an attachment on it, because then I probably wouldn't even like the project if I did, because then that person would just come to mind all the time when I listen to it, and I ain't trying to have that.
Just for the record, were you in a relationship during the 7-month course of this project?
No, sir. No, sir. Niggas is not worth my time. I did not have time for none of that.
Did any of your exes react to this project after it was released?
I feel like they did, but they probably just don't want to say nothing to me. But I think they be watching me. I know they be watching me. I know they do. But I don't think they didn't directly say anything to me, but I just know that they listen to my project, that they just if they feel some type of way, oh well, I don't care.
And no disrespect to this next question. I don't want to assume, though. Mm-hmm. What is your sexuality?
I am straight. Yes. You know what's crazy? I'm not against gay people, but people be assuming that I am because of the way I dress, or because I don't be wearing dressy stuff. I don't like wearing heels. I'll do it for occasions and just special events and stuff like that, but it's not really my style. I like to just, I like sneakers, I like sweatpants, I like baggy clothes, and people just assume, and I don't like that. No, I like boys.
And still single?
I'm still single, but I'm fine with that. I'm in no rush at all. No rush. Niggas be playing with my heart, and I ain't got time for that.